The Princess and the Pea. Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, the prince was all set to be married, and all that he needed was a bride. He had made up his mind, I shall only marry a real princess, or I shall not marry at all. Saying so, the prince travelled around the world in search for his bride. Although the prince met several princesses through his travels, he was not sure whether or not these ladies were real princes. So, with a very sad and heavy heart, the prince returned home and broke the sad news to his parents. There was a shadow of grief over all the kingdom, owing to the sad state of the prince. Even the king and the queen were worried. Then came the night when it was raining all over the kingdom. Everyone stayed indoors as the pelting rain showed no sign of stopping. Everything was quiet in the royal household as well, when suddenly there was a knock on the palace door. The king himself went to open the door, and he saw a beautiful lady standing there, drenched to her very bone. The lady said, I am sorry to bother you like this on such a terrible night, Your Majesty, but I am the princess from the kingdom in the north. I was traveling through your kingdom when it started raining. Could you please let me stay the night in your palace? The king readily agreed to provide her shelter. Later that night, he told the queen, she says, she is a real princess. She would truly make a wonderful bride for our son. The queen replied, let this night pass and we shall know for sure whether she is a real princess or she is just pretending to be one. As the queen made arrangements for her stay that night, she put a small pea on her bedstead and then placed 20 regular mattresses on top of it and another 20 feather mattresses on top of the regular mattresses. The princess was then shown to her room and the royal couple bid her good night. The next day, a tired and worn out princess appeared before the queen. Looking at her, the queen asked, my dear, it seems that you didn't sleep well last night. The princess stifled a yawn and replied, as a matter of fact, I didn't sleep at all last night. It was horrible. I just kept tossing and turning. The queen looked worried and asked, oh dear, I'm so terribly sorry. I thought that all those mattresses would help you sleep in great comfort. The princess replied, no, the mattresses all seemed to be fine, but there was some hard object somewhere below. I don't know what it was, but it hurt my back terribly, and therefore it was impossible for me to fall asleep. As the princess returned to her room to get ready for the day, the queen turned to her husband and said, I think we have found the perfect bride for our son. She is a true princess. The king was astonished at his wife's confidence and asked, and how can you be so sure of that? The queen smiled and said, if a small pea has troubled her over so many mattresses, it is because she has the sensitive skin of a princess. The prince was very happy to know that his mother had finally found a real princess for him. He soon married her with great pomp and splendor. The pea that helped identify the princess is now kept in the museum for all to see.